Hello, I'm Chris, and welcome back to another episode of the History of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. Today we are going to take a look at S.E.A. member Dr. Alberta Falls and his company, the Jungle Navigational Co, aka Jungle Cruise. We will also be looking at his granddaughter, who inherited the Jungle Cruise, and one of the skippers, Felix Pechman XIII. Dr. Alberta Falls was a scientist, theologian, and explorer known for his abilities to navigate the remote waters of the rivers of the world and his sense of humor. Among his discoveries were a sunken Cambodian temple known to some as the Sher Lee Temple. On June 5, 1888, and most notably, Schweitzer Falls and the backside of water on August 12, 1891. He had a wife and fellow adventurer, Victoria Marie Falls. With him, he had a son named Alberta Falls Jr. In 1911, he would establish the Jungle Navigational Co, a shipping company he had hoped would improve the way cargo moved up and down remote jungle rivers around the world for his fellow explorers and adventurers. The headquarters of the JNC would also serve as his home, where he would entertain members of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers in a hidden meeting room located in his library. In fact, he was also a virtuoso pipe organist, known as a Bach interpreter of unique perception and being one of the pioneers of modern historical performances on the pipe organ. When his granddaughter, Alberta Falls, turned 8, she was sent to live with him, as her father recognized an adventurous spirit in her that would not be content with him traveling on the lecture circuit. Albert and his skippers would become a second family to her. In 1927, Albert mysteriously disappeared, and Alberta would become the new president of the Jungle Navigational Co, starting the first Jungle Cruise tour in 1931. Now we look at the granddaughter. Alberta Falls was born in 1911 to historian Alberta Falls Jr. and Indian artist S.E.A. Falls. When she was 8 years old, her father was busy traveling on the lecture circuit and sent Alberta to live with her grandparents, adventurers and owners of the Jungle Navigational Co, Dr. Alberta Falls, and Victoria Marie Falls. Alberta never wished to leave the jungle, so her parents recognized a adventurous spirit in her that would be better allowed to grow in the jungle. With Alberta Falls often going on adventures of his own, she was generally raised by the skippers of the Jungle Navigational Co, and she considered them a second family. When she inherited the Jungle Navigational Co from her grandfather, shipping was in decline. Seeking a solution to turn things around, she turned to the skippers for ideas, and they suggested switching their business model from moving cargo to moving tourists. The first of these jungle cruises would be held on October 1st, 1931, and these became very successful. In time, she would open up the Skipper Canteen, headquarters, and Falls family home to offer food for travelers in 1938. Also in 1938, Alberta arranged a VIP tour of the rivers of adventures aboard the Quango K under Skipper Felix Pechman XIII. Felix Pechman XIII is a man born in a hospital in the town of Silver Springs, Florida on August 13th of 1897. For most, if not all his life, he was plagued by a seemingly paranormal degree of bad luck. The luck followed him throughout various jobs, resulting in disasters that cost him his occupation. From 1934 to 1937, Pechman worked as a riverboat skipper for the glass-bottom boat attraction of Silver Springs Nature Theme Park. Felix lost his job when he is implied to have wrecked one of the attraction's boats along the rocks. After the loss of his job, Felix found his way to the island of New Switzerland, near New Guinea, where he lived in a large treehouse. In 1938, Felix became a skipper for the colonial Jungle Navigational Co. Under the leadership of Alberta Falls, as New Switzerland was part of the mythical realm, Adventureland, which linked jungles across the world, Felix left New Switzerland, seemed to have primarily worked out of the company's colonial outpost in the Amazon rainforest. At the company, Felix became known as Skipper Felix, or the New Guy. In 1938, Alberta arranged for Felix to be the skipper of a VIP jungle cruise tour aboard his vessel, the Jungle Navigational Co. The members of his tour included Alberta's cousin, the ornithologist Siobhan Murphy, Canadian botanist Dr. Leonard Moss, Alberta's friend the painter Rosa Soto Dominguez, and entomologist Dr. Kan Chunosuke of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. However, bad luck struck when the eccentric Siobhan caused an accident by interrupting Pechman's piloting when she saw a rare bird along the Nile River. This resulted in Felix being distracted and wrecking the Jungle Navigational Co along the river. The crew was forced to abandon ship and found themselves on the African veldt of northern Africa. Here, the marooned individuals, with the exception of Alberta, were chased up a tree by a charging rhinoceros. Felix found himself at the bottom of the pole, being prodded by the rhino's horn, until another skipper's party arrived. Just to add a few more notes about these three characters, starting with Dr. Alberta Falls, is Falls dresses in a pitch helmet, an item which is considered to be a signature icon of European colonism. One of Melanie Ravenswood's suitors from Phantom Manor is named Captain Rowan D. Falls. Judging by his last name and his profession, captain of the Mark Twain riverboat, he could be relative or ancestor of Dr. Falls. Now on to Alberta Falls. And Alberta's office is a crate from Miriam Pleasure at the Adventurers Club. Miriam is a character from Pleasure Island who was the daughter of Meriwether Adam Pleasure. Alberta herself uses the Adventurers Club expression Kungaloosh in her description for the maps of the Jungle Cruise's rivers. The clothing of Frank Wolff and Lily Houghton from the Jungle Cruise film appears in Alberta's office. Alberta has the same name, same year of birth as Imagineer Harper Goff, who largely made the Jungle Cruise. Alberta's portrait in the Skipper Canteen was retconned into having been created by her friend Rosa Soto Dominguez. Now on to Felix Pechman XIII. Pechman's character has a bad luck motif. The surname Pechman translates to bad luck, and 13 is often considered to be an unlucky number. Pechman originated from the real community of Silver Springs, Florida. Silver Springs holds Florida's oldest theme park and was also where notable Hollywood jungle adventure Lost, world subgenre film like Tarzan the Ape Man and The Creature from the Black Lagoon were filmed. Pechman's application form mentioned having previously lived in the treehouse next door. This is an allusion to the Swiss Family Treehouse attraction that is next door of the Magic Kingdom's Jungle Cruise. It is one of the several instances of the 2021 Jungle Cruise refurbishments using the self-term meta-humor and taking a literalist approach to Adventureland as a diegetic location. That's going to do it for this episode of the History of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. On the next episode, we will be looking into the sea member Meriwether Adam Pleasure and Captain Mary Oceaneer. So don't forget about this. Please come back and hear their story and how the connections are to all these awesome attractions that Disney provides for us. And I hope to catch you on the next History of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you later. Bye.